everything is going extremely well.
And now, showtime.
Oh, there we go. Why am I so dark? Okay, hold on a second. What is going on here? Can we brighten this up? There we go. Okay, everybody, welcome to the show today. We usually are sharing the screen and diving into ad accounts, and it's been incredible to show you all sorts of stuff. But today we're going to actually go over. I just got back from the Meta Performance Summit, and I got to say, it was actually really exciting and really encouraging. For what it's worth, maybe I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid, who knows? But I actually think there are some incredible things. So today I'm going to break down a lot of the stuff that, well, if you're not spending a couple $1 million a month, you wouldn't been invited, so you wouldn't been able to know. But we're really going to break down a lot of the things that they got to today. I'm going to tell you a lot of the stuff that they didn't say on the stage. I also was invited backstage for some VIP stuff to see a lot of the new things that they didn't necessarily make public. And I got a huge list of stuff today. I just want to give a big thanks to Meta for inviting me out. I got to hang with Ben Heath and Dara Denny and Caleb, Mr. Paid Social. If you guys don't know Ben and Dara and Caleb, check them out. They're fantastic. And I got to hang with so many people. And I've got interviews with like 20 different brands to come out, from Ridge to Portland Leather Goods and Skinny from Mexico, brands from all over the world. It was incredible. But let's not bury the lead. Let's get to this stuff today. I just want to say, first off, thank you so much for all of you all. Your support to this channel is the reason that I get to go do those things. And as a thank you, here's all the stuff that you need to know. Now, the first thing we're going to break down is AI. And there's going to be a lot more of it, especially for smaller advertisers. Now, you might have seen the press release from Zuck where he's like, we're going to have all AI for everybody. I actually got to see what that looks like, and it's actually not bad. It is not scary. It very well could have been. I'll be honest. It very, very well could have been like terrifying. But it's not. And I've gotten to see what it looks like, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And we're also going to get into updates to the delivery algorithm and leaning into how language models are working. We're also getting into some of the quality data stuff, some of the bidding things, the incrementality. I think the three biggest takeaways from this conference, more than anything, is how they're adopting AI. And for all of you, I want you to know that it's going to get a lot better. And as your advocate, I talked to the engineering team and very specifically was like, this is what you need it to do. So we're going to get to that here in a minute, as well as some of the A+ creative tools, some updated best practices, and measurement stuff. So they're really getting into a lot of things. Now, the first thing that I want to get into here is just data and how they are focused on higher quality data so that you can give the machine better information, and you can also tell it what you want. And I think that's really important. I was talking with my buddy McCoy and Matt from Portland Leather Goods at the airport while leaving right before. And it's funny, we were hanging out and talking for maybe an hour or so. And as soon as they got on their plane, I turned around and there's Sean from Ridge, and we got to hang out for a little bit too. But the idea that you're now going to be able to and assign values to all sorts of different events, and more importantly, be able to target for value optimization around those events, and not just like get me a higher ROAS or get me a higher AOV, but profits, and do that not only at like a purchase event, but also at custom conversion events and lead events and all parts throughout the funnel. And this is something we've been telling you here on this channel for a long time that I've been like manually hacking and teaching you guys to do, where like you can assign custom conversion events. So for instance, one of the things that, I've talked to Portland Leather Goods and showed them to do, and a lot of other brands, assign custom conversion events to all of their product categories or your hero products. Like purchase URL contains whatever, right? Hero product. Or the content ID contains hero product. Doing that allows you to, at the optimization event in the campaign, tell the machine that what you're looking for isn't a purchase, but it's a specific buyer of this specific thing. And now the machines, they're updating the language models to really begin to take that in. And we've already begun to see this do dramatic stuff for really high-end advertisers. I won't share too many of the numbers, but let's just say it's a 6 or 7 figure win for the guys at Portland Leather and a lot of other brands that are in the DMs. I'll put it that way. The fact that we're going to be able to bring that stuff down to smaller advertisers is a really, really big deal. And it's not just about having CAPI and a third-party attribution tool and native. You need to have all of that stuff. That is not, I'll start with this. If you do not have a conversions API and the browser events done, if you do not have the pixel and the conversions API, you need to do that right away. Like that is a mandatory thing right now. If your CPMs are rising, like that is something that like is an easy win to immediately get better information. Now, when we start to talk about the custom conversion events and optimizing that, my buddy here from Disrupt Your School Inner Circle, at what spend level does it make sense to do this? This makes sense to do when we're talking about assigning custom conversion events to different product categories to understand if somebody's buying your hero product or anything else. That is something you should be doing right away. I work with this brand called Kingsloop, and we were running ads for their iPhone case. I actually happen to have one right here. Very good iPhone case. And one of the things we found as we began to scale that iPhone case, and we were spending money, is that over 70% of the people that clicked on that ad actually bought the wallet. And you have to remember that not all of your ads are driving sales to the products that you're promoting. And I've been doing this myself, and we've shown it on this channel multiple times inside of my ad account. When somebody makes a purchase event, we have a purchase and then a school sign up for those of you that are joining Disruptor Academy. So I'm able to understand that at $20 a day, at $200 a day, at $50,000 or at $100,000. Or brands, I talked to some brands that were spending $35,000 a day, some that were spending $500,000 a day. Those interviews are coming later on the channel. Please subscribe so you don't miss that stuff. I have 20 different interviews lined up, and not lined up that I've filmed, that I'm like literally on my phone, like mapping out and editing and sending for revisions and stuff. And yes, I'm actually doing the editing myself, so it'll be very interesting. So this is something you should be doing all of the time. And it's an internal tool they call GEM, and it's really like a lattice of data. And even if you are not using that as an optimization event, defining to the machine that these are things of value fundamentally change how campaigns perform and the targeting and the incrementality of your delivery. I was talking with David Herman about Woobles, and he was talking about how the machine just constantly goes after crafters. Every new ad just constantly goes after that person. This would be a way in that situation, if all of your ads are constantly going after the same type of individual, for you to be able to define a different user base and take an offer with a different type of ad to go after a different kind of person. I'm doing this with brands right now, for instance, where we are doing this where the optimization event is new customer, because we have Amers. Shout out to Amers, where we have the custom conversion, where we have a standard conversion event for new customer applied to the ad account. And that means that we are able to take our advertising dollars and run them specifically to new customers and teach the machine that a new customer is what we're trying to look for. And so the ability for them to take all of this stuff in and really begin to use all of that granular data around the business goals, they are applying that to people at every single ad level. This is one of the biggest unlocks with Andromeda, and it's incredible. So I believe me, I could do an hour on that stuff, but we're 10 minutes in, and I want to make sure that you all get everything. So, yeah, like you really like it, that is everything. I just want you all to know that stuff. So next thing that we want to get to here is creators and creative diversity. The next big, just like huge thing that they were hammering home over and over again was to use creators to unlock creative diversity. And you know, as somebody that was doing this back when it was celebrity endorsements, and then it was when it was influencers, and it was then like micro influencers, and now it's creatives and all this other stuff. I've been doing this at a 6 or 7 figure monthly budget for 10 years. And this is something that it's incredible to see them lean more and more into. And when I talked to Danil from Incense, by the way, if you want to find creators, there's a great creator marketplace on Instagram. You can obviously use the TikTok one, but the single best resource in the planet is Incense, INSENSE, Incense.pro. Like, please use Incense. Go there, check out Danil. Like, their product is the #1 way of finding people. They'll do all the stuff for you. I've been using them since 2018, and they've generated millions and millions and millions of dollars of profit for me. I love it. And the guy that runs the company, great, brought me to one of the best Georgian food restaurants. The only Georgian food restaurant I've ever been to, and one of the best times I've ever had for food. Also ruined pot stickers and dumplings for me for life. So thank you, Danil. The point is this. They are going to be, and they didn't say this live, but it's something that Dara said when we were doing a little pod with Ben Heath and Caleb. We are all convinced that they are giving some preferential treatment to partnership ads, and they're updating the way that partnership ads really work. So you can have this more authentic creator and partnership ad response. So it looks more like whitelisting. So you can choose to have a partner and the brand, or just the partner, so that you can have this whitelisting experience or a co-branded experience. And you can have that toggle for AI to choose what's going to be best for the individual, because some people want that borrowed authenticity and some people don't want it at all. And the ability for you to go to different individual creators and just unlock that is something, first off, you should be doing. There's no brand too big or too small to go after creators to make content for you. And I'm not saying you have to pay people $1,000 a video. I've been on Incense where I found people for $50 a pop, and I got 20 of them. I spent $1,000 to get 20 people to make 3 or 4 different videos for me. That's nearly 100 pieces of creative. I let them all talk in their own language about what they thought about the product or service or offer, and then use that to do market testing to see what words people responded to, what message people's responded to, and how those things really worked out well. And the things that performed well, we also then launched in Instagram as trial reels to see what grew the actual Instagram account. We did partnership with collabs with those individual creators on their Instagram accounts. The ones that work, we then elevated with ad dollars to then grow the Instagram account and the relationship with the influencer or the creator. And then those people that would then come back and are willing to make more and more content, because the more and more they work with us, the bigger and bigger their channels get, and the more and more money everybody makes. Like, this is something that's so easy, and it allows your customers to see themselves in the advertising and prevents you from having to unlock all of that stuff, and gives you a ton of data at scale for super cheap to understand what works and what doesn't, and how the customers and your user base thinks about your product so that you can elevate the brand. And the fact that they are making this native, and we're all convinced giving preferential bidding to this is something you should really be leaning into. Creators unlock creative diversity, and it's the easiest turnkey solution. Again, not that I have anything to do with it, but I highly recommend you go to Incense. If you talk to Danil, if you reach out to them, tell them that Charlie sent you, you will get taken care of. I promise. Like, they are really, really good people. I know. And so I highly recommend that you do that. Now, the next thing that we want to get into here is value-based bidding and delivery. This is continuing to evolve and improve. And the tool is now something that I am recommending to a lot of folks. I'm running some big tests on it right now. We are doing a lot of really big things. And the wonderful thing about the value-based bidding is it was at one point in time just a higher AOV number. But now Now it's a lot smarter. You're going to be able to, you are now able to put in the cost, or if you haven't yet, you are going to be able to very soon, because there are like 450 divisions of engineers at Meta constantly working on all of their own different stuff. And all of the stuff that they're working on, we're completely independent of everybody else. So there's 450 different inputs into a variable of like what your user experience might be. That's why every time you log into an ad account, it might be different. The point is, the value-based bidding now, you're going to be able to put in the cost of goods, your operating cost per product, and the value, the AOV of that product, and optimize delivery for profit volume. Now, we've been talking about profit volume here for years on this channel, and I've been pushing over and over again. That's what GPT is all about. You're going to be able to optimize your ad delivery for GPT, which is incredible. Remember, that's AOV minus CPA. What is the volume of profit you make? Like, we're moving further and further and further away from scammy metrics like cost caps, or sorry, scammy metrics like ROAS, right? And cost caps are basically all but dead at this point. And it was crazy. I appreciate David Herman said, like, hey man, you don't need to tweet out like negative things, because I tweeted a GIF of someone's like, I'm just saying, when it was, I think suing your clients is bad business. And David was like, you know, everybody knows that Taylor Holiday is suing all of his clients all of the time. Like, it's a common thing. Common Thread Collective is bad at what they do. They have flawed logic and they sue all of their clients. They've been doing it for a decade. And I was like, okay, I don't need to tweet that out. I can be nicer, although I did just completely lay it out here because, well, everybody, the people that know think everybody knows. And the honest truth is, most people don't know. So anyway, don't destroy your business. Don't work with them. Getting back to the value bidding, you're going to be able to optimize for all that stuff. And you can, for the lead gen and SaaS folks, begin to optimize for metrics that have value that aren't necessarily intrinsically transactionally based. And what I mean by that is you can optimize for the value of an email address, or the value of a lead, or the value of a phone call booked, or an app download. And what's really important is you can pass back that there's some that are high value and low value, good quality and low quality. And if a good quality lead is worth $50 and a bad quality lead is worth $5, you could optimize for the value and just get as much volume as possible, but have a value base that's going to give you a greater GPT at the lead level, or at the email level, or at the app download level, or at the add to cart, or the subscribe, like the ability for you to now make intrinsic understanding of it's not just a higher AOV or a lower attributed CPA, but actually the volume of money that you make. And that makes way more sense. Like, how many more dollars am I producing? That's what really matters. And that is continuing to evolve. And the delivery system of how they're going to show those ads to people is also different, which is incredible because it allows for incrementality of delivery. And we're going to get to a little bit more of these. I've got a video coming out in about a week or two where I'm actually going to be breaking down a real world case study of what I'm doing right now for Father's Day for a business, where we are trying to drive incremental value for higher incremental delivery for new customers that pay more money. And like, it's working. We started at 1,500. We're probably going to be spending 20,000 a day by Saturday. Not bad for the first, little launch on something. But if you're a part of my little text thread, you're probably going to get that the next day or two. And that's, Nate from Original Grain and McCoy and guys at True Classic and all of those folks that I just hit up at like 8 o'clock at night with just a manifesto of like, do this to make a couple extra mil, which is always fun. Anyway, that is going to be really, really interesting. And I want you to start to think about playing around with these, because the tool is fundamentally different than it was 6 months ago. And that is really, really valuable information and gives us very tactical decisions. And it gives us a new tool. And that is incredible. The machine works the exact same, but now there's a different application of the tool. And that is, again, amazing, incredible, super, super, super valuable. And, if you pair that with, say, one other thing I want to actually bring in there real quick before we move on, because I do need to take a sip for a second, is these value-based options really begin to have massive impact when there is a big disparity between the low-cost item and the high-cost item. If your cheapest thing is $30 and your highest thing is $40, that's not a big difference. But if you're selling something for like 15 and something else for 200, this could be massive. So for those of you that are running like a catalog, leveraging this is going to change everything. And by the way, like if you're running catalogs, this is for you.
Running Marpipe is like being the first stripper to ever get a boob job. Suddenly, everyone's making more money. Your catalog ads look better, your feed's tighter, your data clean enough to eat off of. Marpipe cranks out templates, visuals, and winning combos like it's got insider info from Meta itself, because here's the truth, they do. The best brands in the world use Marpipe. There's literally no second best option. So if you want to sign up for Marpipe, go to disruptorschool.com/Marpipe. Dan will take care of you personally. He's the founder of Marpipe. He's a buddy of mine. So sign up for Marpipe. I know you're going to love it. I use it on every brand. It's not just a tool. It's a glow up for your whole account.
Yeah, you should be using Marpipe. Absolutely. Again, I was talking with McCoy and Matt from Portland Leather Goods, and like, that's a core in the piece. Macy's is using it. I'm using it on 5 different brands right now. Like, you should be using this tool. And again, go to disruptorschool.com Marpipe to make sure you get lower. So make sure you get a discount price with white glove treatment. That's what we do here. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about is incrementality and lift testing. Incrementality is a buzzword, and we've been talking about it here forever. And I've been trying to focus on people to like, one of the reasons that cost caps is all but basically dead in the water for the absolutists that still somehow think that if you just run all of your stuff on cost caps, like that's going to be good for your business. And there's a reason why all of those people are having all of their clients tank, and why everybody that runs it, it's like, oh, see, Facebook seems to be broken in the last few years, because we know when they work, we know when they don't. And honestly, the reporting on the platform, every single test that has ever been run that I have ever seen when measuring the incrementality of cost caps to normal bidding is that they look better on the reporting, but ultimately generate far lower volume of profit and opportunity for the business model. And now we're going to be able to very, very directly prove that with the power lift studies. Now you should be leveraging conversion lift studies in your ad account. And more importantly, and we'll get to this in a minute, there's incremental attribution options, and they've changed what this does. And I think the naming of the product is terrible. When you see incremental attribution, it is not an incremental attribution. It is incremental delivery. It is a new customer acquisition optimization choice. You're going to be able to basically say, I want to show my ads to people to get new customers. That is what it is. And so for the ability for you to leverage that as the business goal, and everything really comes down to AI, it comes down to incrementality, and again, just the updating of the best practices. That was the resounding, just over and over and over again, AI, incremental, AI, incremental, AI, incremental. It was everything everybody was talking about. And that's great, because those are the tools that we really, really need. And the AI just wasn't just in creative. The AI here, the artificial intelligence of understanding your business goals to acquire new customers. Let's give you a tool that says new customers is where we want to deliver. The incremental attribution campaigns are going to be showing your ads to people who would not normally see your ads, specifically to try to bring you new sales. And it was great to hear this woman from Adobe talking about with their testing, how it was basically just the overlap of the ad spend of folks that would not have bought anyway. They were able to drive basically 35% better customer acquisition by focusing some of their campaigns on incremental attribution and the incrementality. And they proved it with lift tests, not only from Facebook, but they were doing like MMM, NTAs. Like there was this whole conversation on multiple days from multiple speakers about the triangulation of data. Now, again, stuff we've been talking about here for years, but it's incredible to see them put those people on the stage and say some of the things that I've been talking about for 5 years, that so many of the people that, well, run on last click attribution have been hating me for just for just speaking real words in complete sentences that make sense, that they can't dispute. And so it's just so incredible. And we're going to get to a little bit more why that's incredibly important here. Actually, I'll just do it right now. Why this really matters is because, in my opinion, And full credit, McCoy from Portland Leather Goods was somebody who put this in my head, and it just stuck with me. So I didn't give him, I didn't credit him on the podcast, but I want to do it here, just because I forgot. There are fewer and fewer people signing up for Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp accounts today than there were 5 years ago. So the increase in volume of inventory for ads is going down. The demand for ads continues to go up. More people are spending more money every single year than the year before, which ultimately means CPMs rise. Now, when you have an aging user base that is not getting bigger at the same rate that it was, with more and more demand on less and less growing supply, what you have to do is figure out a way to make the tool more useful. And 5 years ago, and even if you listen to Andrew Ferris and last click attribution folks and the affiliate marketers and the cost cap maxi people, they're focusing on ROAS. They're focusing on how many sales can I take credit for? And the machine is just not built for that. And this conference was really like a manifesto to say that we're not even looking at Facebook. Meta is not looking at Meta ads in that way anymore because it's not good for business. They know that everybody else is on AppLovin and TikTok and Google and everywhere. They are now optimizing their campaigns and their structures to bring you more and more net new customers. And they are telling you it is not about the ROAS. Now, whether these are the specific words, but I'm telling you what's going on behind the scenes. It is not about the ROAS of any ad or any ad set or any campaign. It is about what this is doing for the rest of your business. Meta Ad Suite, Facebook ads are about growing your business opportunity. It is the single most powerful way to spend money to generate knowable, consistent, predictable growth. As long as you're not using predictive bidding machines like cost caps, bid caps, or launching 1,000 different things. The more you protect your data by sending back a lot of custom conversion events, by assigning value to everything, and in my opinion, by not launching 1,000 ads, let just the ads that you have that are good get smarter and smarter and smarter. The more you do that, the more the machine is amplifying all of the other channels so that you can improve your business, which is ultimately the reason that you'll spend more and more money on Facebook. Be clear, it is television, it is radio, it is billboards. Billboards don't have sound. Radio doesn't have a call to action button you can click, but it also is the dominant force. Now, Facebook is very clearly going to overtake that, right? If it hasn't already. But why this really matters is the machine itself, Zuckerberg, Meta, is telling you they are looking at success as how they impact the entire business. They are telling you to look at incrementality. They are telling you to focus on what this is doing to all of their channels. The amount of speakers on the stage that said MMM and MTA, like multi-channel marketing mix, omni-channel ads as being a thing that they're delivering. They're giving you the opportunity to show their ads on other marketing channels. Like, that is so incredible. And it's basically just the death knell for everybody that focuses on last click attribution or ROAS as like having any value, because that is settled science. Like that is just, the earth isn't flat, right? Like listening to cost cappers and last click folks try to talk about how to grow a business is like watching flat earthers talk to people who think the moon landing was fake about like lizard people. Like it's insanity. Right? Like, I don't know if you listened to the last podcast from Andrew Ferris talking to Taylor, but it's crazy people talking about like cult leadership, trying to make sense of a world where everybody knows, oh, by the way, there's like a sun. Like it's insane. And Amelia, I thought incremental attribution setting would train my ad to create better lift. Yes. Incremental attributions will train your ads to create better lift. And that's happening because it's reaching more net new individuals. Those more net new individuals are going to be folks who are also hitting other marketing channels. It's basically saying the machine is being trained to not focus on only the low-hanging fruit. Yeah, high roast is bullshit. Fun fact, I got a DM on school from a high roast salesperson. I was like, hey, they're like, how can we send more clients your way? I'm like, look, believe me, you already are. Between high roast and common thread and all of these other low integrity operators that are just running predatory business models, like the more they work, the more they do their job, the better people like me that know what they're actually doing, that actually care about people, are successful, because you're basically just creating a demand for people like us. Like, you are cancer and we are medicine. And it's just, while I don't appreciate that they provide for their families by making it more difficult for other people to provide for theirs, it is doing wonders for the rest of us. All that being said, we got to keep going because we're 30 minutes in, and I just want to, I got a whole list here of things. I got like a whole just pop. Okay. So the next thing is the A+ creative tools. Raise your hand. Comment if you have used any of the A+ creative tools, or how many of you just immediately turn them off every single time for every, like you're sick and tired of it. So they know brand representation is a liability. And new tools are coming very soon to give you control there. Oh, thank you so much, Amelia. I can tell you this without breaking NDAs, and there's going to be a lot of really fun stuff coming from Cannes. They're nudging core ideas to improve delivery based on how the user will best respond. And you're going to be able to tell the machine exactly what's acceptable and what isn't. And when we get into sort of the like Zuck saying all ads are going to be AI, it is going to be built around you being able to set some parameters and not remove you from being able to create stuff, but being able to say that you're going to be able to let the machine create a curated experience that's best for each individual person. And that absolutely terrifies people who are control freaks. But to be fair, you can't micromanage every single impression. You can't be in control of every single thing. And leaning into the machine that's smarter than you is going to win. And I'll say this. I remember when the conversion campaign was invented. And there were advertisers that swore up and down around, like, we're only driving traffic and engagement campaigns. Like, that was most people. And there were entire ad agencies that refused to adopt conversion campaigns. Those people more or less went out of business. Now we're seeing the same thing happen to, like, again, the cost cappers of the world. Like, every single one of those agencies is losing clients left, right, and center. And that's why some of them are suing clients left, right, and center. They've been doing it 10 years ago and they're doing it now. If you're not going to adopt incremental and AI as your tool set, you're going to be left behind. You are not using the system in the way it was designed to be used. And more of these tools are coming on board, and more of these are getting better and better and better. I'll tell you this too. If you adopt new tech, you are going to get cheaper inventory that's higher quality before everybody else. If you want lower CPMs and getting new customers, start using the AI and the incremental lift. Now, what I told the team, because I met with some of the engineering folks, what I told them, because I'm your advocate, right? What I told the team was, if you want people to adopt these tools, you have to make sure that the advertiser doesn't see it. And what I mean by this is, you are the person running ads for your business or whatever. You are the one seeing the vast majority of every ugly ad that gets shown. When you say, man, I'm not using that tool, the music is dumb, or they recreate this format, and like, I tried all this hard stuff, nobody else is seeing it. Nobody else is seeing that stuff. So what I'm working with them, hopefully we're going to continue this conversation a bit more, that is built around the idea that show the AI variations to the incremental distribution. People who have not yet seen my marketing, show variations of the AI, show modifications of the creative that's actually going to appeal to that person. Like, take what I'm doing to my core audience, change it a little bit to appeal to somebody else that's on the edge but not quite ready yet. Give them the best version of what I have for them to be interested so they can fall into my bucket. And then let me be in control of that. Have it be a two-stage conversation. And as this progresses, you're going to see more and more of that. And that is going to be amazing. And I can... What we are seeing in initial deliveries of that is like a 5 to 10% lift in performance, especially when it comes to new customers, like a drop in CAC, a higher increase in the volume of new customers. It's going to be amazing. Now, moving on to some other stuff, because again, I got this huge list. And if you have any questions about all these things, just drop them in the comment section below, because I know this is a live, but like, I'll get back to you as fast as I can. Business AI. We're going to have AI agents live natively in ads, from click to message ads, as well as just your normal actual conversion efforts. I can't get too deep into this because, I'm sworn to secrecy, and that's the only way. Protecting that stuff is the only way that like I can continue to bring all the things. But, I leak stuff way before everybody else does. And I will have full videos. So basically when Meta does their press release at Cannes, I'm going to have a suite of videos. It just comes out, boom, 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 boom. Here's all the things you need to know. What I can tell you is this. Your ads are going to be able to interact with you. Now, publicly, what I can tell you is we saw a demo of an ad unit where you got served an ad and then you were able to like interact with it, be like, hey, I really like this. Is there any discount I can get? And it spoke back like, yes, we noticed that you like it in medium and in red, and we've got a couple of those. There's a buy two, get one free offer on it right now. Okay, thank you. That'd be great. I'd like to get one for me and my friend. Can you send it to me? Yes, sure. Here, let's get you to the cart. And then like you can do the checkout. Like the whole conversation is your ads are going to be the salesperson that's also going to be handling point of sale objections and getting people over the finish line. And more importantly, you're gonna be able to control what that looks like. And I've got a video example for that that's coming up. I actually like took video of that example, and we're gonna be presenting all the presentations are behind closed doors. They're giving me the videos of them all, and I'm gonna be able to bring them to you here very soon. So we are alpha testing this right now, and it is really, really incredible. And we actually also have I have a video clip that I'll be able to share with you later on of what like the next 3 to 5 years are going to really bring when it comes to all that. Now, when it comes to updating some best practices, we have the opportunity score that we've covered here. And it really has 2 key elements, right? Like understanding what you're doing and where you could go. And this is really a checklist for success, like the before, the during, and the after of the launch. And like we've said here before, you don't need to do all of the things the opportunity score suggests. While it is exponentially better than anything that Google will ever tell you to do, which is basically just destroying your bank account, these are database suggestions on what works for the most people, right? And way I want you to think about these opportunity score suggestions, which are getting better and better and better. Like the suggestions from 3 weeks ago are not nearly as good as the ones from yesterday. Like it is moving lightning fast. What I can tell you is this. It's going to make everybody B+ marketers. Using these, they might break what you've been told to do. But honestly, most of the people that are telling you what to do aren't good at the work. The vast majority of people, like I sat down at a table with people that tell folks how to run ads, people that are running agencies, folks that make content to tell people what to do. And the amount of folks that I had to just drag like through conversation through the idea of like, don't launch 100 ads a week. ROAS is absolute bullshit. Like you can't just look at platform level metrics. And that was unacceptable to them to embrace because they're living. Their financial well-being was built on adopting something that was obsolete 7 years ago, but they haven't adapted. Like that is still the standard. Unfortunately, that is 80, 90% of people. And I'm not here to just throw shade at everyone. I'm just saying like those people are great to get you up to speed. Taking what they say and putting it through the opportunity score checklist is going to make you better. And if you come here, we'll take you from that B+ to the A+ marketer and bring you to that like top tier. One of the things that I really enjoyed, by the way, was how many students from the MBA program and from Disruptor Academy were at the event. like brands that have been following me for years. Like it's just so incredible to see so many people that were coming in spending like 100, 200, 300 bucks a day or whatever that are now like, oh, we're spending 4 million this month. Or one brand was like, we're spending 35,000 a day. Like they're paying $97 a month for Disruptor Academy, spending $35,000 a day. Like just the upgrade to the entire industry of what we're doing here is just so amazing. And it was just so incredible. And what I want to tell you to do right now, if you have a rep, is demand a performance scorecard. And again, I've got screenshots for all this stuff. Like I just got back last night. I've got a phone full of like screenshots and videos. Meta is sending me all of the decks and all the recordings of all the presentations. And I'm going to be bringing you that stuff as soon as I'm legally allowed to, in depth. I'm probably not going to sleep for the next 3 weeks, but I'm going to get you everything. Okay. Now, when it comes to the data side of stuff, you have to use Cappy and AI. Quality data and match rate and fresh feeds are essential. So I'm going to give you a 3-step action plan right now to make your ad account better. First, take an active stance on data. Identify custom conversion events for your biggest quality efforts. If you have a campaign promoting an offer, you better have a custom conversion event for that offer. Now, you don't necessarily need to be optimizing at the optimization event for that offer, but tell the machine this is something that you value. Track it. If you don't make a custom conversion event, the machine doesn't know that you care. And you begin to prune your custom conversion events. This is a great insight from the Portland Leather guys, is once they made a custom conversion event, just it existing told the machine that something was way more valuable. Because they're using the data. Tell them what you want, and they'll do more of it for you. If you're just running to a purchase event, then you're saying a stick of gum is worth the same thing as a Lamborghini, and that's why you're failing. And I've been telling you guys to do this for 7 years, but like the machine is really beginning to take it in. Andromeda update has really begun to take in all of this stuff and just apply the force multipliers. Like the amount of people that are doing this stuff that are getting an extra $50,000, $100,000, $1 million, like the DMs that were just it's just so incredible to see all of the success that's coming from this stuff. And that's why I'm trying to bring it to you here. Like all of this stuff we've been telling you to do is now what the machine is telling you to do. Like, what do we say here all the time? Like, if you want to know what everybody else is going to be talking about in 2 to 3 years, come and listen to me right now. The stuff I was telling you to do in 2022 and 2023 is now coming from Meta on the stage to tell everybody to do it. So that's the first thing. Second thing, audit your data regularly. Make sure your match rate is as close as you can get. You're never going to get a perfect score of a 10, but try to get at least above a 7 or an 8. If you can't do that, please invest in some resource. And again, like I think data is everything. And step number 3, fix one high impact area this month. Get better quality data. And let me leave you with this.
You know I'm obsessed with data, like a chain-smoking grandma glued to the nickel slots in Reno. And when it comes to tracking what actually happens in my Shopify store, the only team I trust is Aimers, spelled A-I-M-E-R-C-E. They don't use bloated tags that slow down your site and guess what happened. They know what happened. API direct, no fluff, just clean, accurate data sent straight to Facebook, Klaviyo, and Google. And here's the kicker. When I brought them in, I was able to cut costs with bloated tech and boost profits every single month across every single brand I've ever brought to them. So yeah, Aimers doesn't just track conversions, they help make them happen. And anything that saves me time and makes me money while helping me work less is a cheat code that I want to share with you. So if you're interested in Aimers, go to disruptourschool.com/Aimers and sign up, save money, and Yichi will take care of you personally. She's the CEO and founder. She's a friend of mine. She will do the job to make sure that you are happy. I trust them with my money, and so should you.
Yeah, use Aimers. I love them. I've been sending everybody there. Disruptourschool.com/Aimers. Like, that's a simple move you can make right now to get better data in your account, to make more money right away. That is a click this button sign up, and then you literally, like, to install Aimers, you just click yes to Klaviyo, yes to Google, yes to Facebook. The entire process can take 15 minutes. And then immediately more money. Like, click this button, bank account gets bigger. Like, why not do that? Like, it's so straightforward. Okay. Now, I got 3 other topics that we maybe 4. I don't know, because see what we can get to before the end of this thing. Next thing, just talking about the evolution of Facebook ads and Meta. Like, the modern AI driven model is here. Okay. Like, this is how we guide the system. You have to tell the machine what you are trying to achieve. And if you're not adopting this stuff, you are striving to maintain control over something that's just getting worse and worse. You are captain of a sinking ship. And that is a bad place to be. Okay. So you need to begin to tell the machine of what you are trying to achieve. That's all these custom conversion events. That's all of this directional information, incrementality versus all purchases, right? Like, anybody who's going to buy or net new individuals. Do I want to grow all my marketing channels, or do I want to make Facebook as good as possible? I guarantee you the cost cappers are never going to adopt incremental attribution, because it will make the results look worse. And that's why all of them are going to go out of business. Well, not all of them, because some people unfortunately haven't been burned yet. So there's enough new victims out there in the world, but like, you don't need that anymore. What I can tell you without giving away too much information is that incremental optimization across the board has led to between 40 and 50% increase in performance in all testing across thousands of advertisers. This is something that I was very skeptical on, something that I was unhappy with in its first few iterations, and is something that now I don't think you're going to be able to survive without implementing. And I'm going to have a lot more education on this coming soon. I'm putting my own case studies going to be coming out over the next few weeks. We're going to be talking about it today in Disruptor Academy, our live weekly call. If anybody asks, by the way, check out Disruptor Academy. You should. For whatever it's worth, I really highly recommend that you do. We just crossed $18,000 MRR. Not bad for a business that's 4 months old. Plus, an extra 100K or so on the back end. By the way, new video coming out on Disruptor Academy's YouTube channel tomorrow around how I built a 100K business in 100 days using basically nothing but AI. And every step-by-step model, screen shares, like walking through every single step of everything so that you can literally just copy and paste. All you have to do is watch the video, copy and paste, and make money. Like, it's literally that straightforward, which I don't want to try to make those kind of claims too often, but like, it is that. That's what we're doing here. We also need to begin to really focus on adopting some value optimization, the setup and the process. And there's a step-by-step guide that I'm going to be dropping out in the video. But one little trick, I'm going to leave you with this for those of you that are 47 minutes and 55. So those of you that are here 48 minutes in. Here's a quick little fun thing that I'm doing right now. And I'm dropping this here because somebody will be like, but Charlie this, but Charlie that, but you said this and the other thing. And remember, every tool has a purpose. Take your best performing ads, all the ones that earned a lot of spend, rebuild them, drive them to your homepage in an ASC campaign using incremental attribution, and then focus on value optimization for profit. Just happening all across the board. Insanity. Okay. Now, that one is specifically for Tony, who's behind. Tony, we both screamed Tony Danza. Todd, who was sitting behind me at the conference, because we were first row. Todd was right behind me, and it was funny. We were chatting in the hotel lobby, not the after party, at the hotel lobby, the night before, and I was chatting with David Herman and some other guys that run a great agency out of Newport Beach that they started because Common Thread like sued them 10 years ago. And some folks out of Latin America that were there, and just a really great group of people. And this one guy's like, oh man, he was going to a Foxwell Founders dinner, and he was just commenting, oh man, Charlie's here. I just, blah, blah, blah. And then they get to realize, oh, I'm actually a really nice guy. Anyway, moving on. I want to leave you with two other things. First, measure what matters. Okay? Meta openly and repeatedly said they know last click data is bad. They know last click is bullshit. And let's be very clear. The reason first click or last click, the reason that is a measurement that people think has value is because 30 years ago when this industry was starting, that's how advertisers and brands were able to prove credit, take credit, and prove value. One stat that definitely came from the PR team is Gen Z is 2 times less likely to click on an ad when buying. If you're focused on last click attribution, you're never going to hit anybody under 35 years old in a meaningful way. If you're telling the machine that you want to focus on everybody who's going to click on the ad to get a good ROAS, you're telling the machine, please don't get me new customers. Please don't help me make money. Please don't grow my business, which is stupid. It's all about incremental results. So 3 views here. First off, and we'll get to more of this stuff. I've got screenshots and presentations again. I've got like 7 different videos I got lined up right now that are going to be coming for you. Thanks to Meta for sponsoring a lot of this stuff going on. And all the sponsors have been coming lately, by the way. Just last month was the biggest month of sponsorships for this channel, and it's been incredible. So thank you so much. You're going to have rules-based incremental results with like third-party tracking like GA. By the way, my buddy Dylan is going to be dropping a GA4 replacement that's like $20-30 and just, we're going to be bringing you all that stuff very soon. You can also do modeling like conversion lift studies. And I recommend you conversion lift studies every single month. And it's not about each individual study, but about the trend across all of the studies. That's really important. And then looking at incremental attribution with a percentage of your ad spend, obviously not all, because I mean, folks like Zach Stuck are constantly talking about new customer. We're doing 80-20 rule and all this other stuff. But like, that's not a business. That's customer acquisition. That's being a salesperson. And I think Zach is really smart. He's really good, but there's some gaps there, right? Like, and to be fair, we all have gaps, right? Like we're all specialists are not good at everything. They can be amazing at something, and there's some gaps, right? Like I had somebody join the MBA program yesterday for the cohort that is live right now. They did a late start because they joined Alex Hermosi's program, 35K program for some in-person stuff. But to be fair, Alex is great at a lot of stuff, but his ad strategy is outdated. He's running 2018 ad strategies. And he's tried to hire 1 or 2 of my students, but they didn't want to move to Vegas. So bottom line, somebody wanted to do the best job. They went to Alex Hermosi to help on the business model, came to me to help with the ads. They're going to crush. Jennifer, I cannot wait to see all of your wins. But you need to optimize for the incremental nature of your ads down to the ad level. And the ability for you to be able to do that is incredible. And stay tuned to this channel. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel so you can see all of that stuff as it comes out, because I'm bringing you screen shares, decks, presentations, all of the stuff that was behind closed doors. I'm going to be bringing to you here for free. Okay. If you're not spending $1 million a month, you're not invited into that room, but I'm going to bring it to you here right now or on this channel as soon as possible. And I'll say this, your big takeaways, all right? Focus on your scorecards. For those of you that are at less than 1,000 a day, less than 500 a day, get yourself a performance scorecard. It's in your ad account. And if you have a rep, you can easily get it too. If you just get the marketing experts that are hitting you up, ask them for it. They'll give it to you. It's free. Prioritize your data setup. You see everybody talking about, well, you know, it doesn't matter what your campaign structure is. It doesn't matter all this stuff. Just launch 1,000 ads. That's objectively ridiculous. It's a machine learning algorithm. It's a computer program. The ads manager is the programming language for the program. The data you give it is intrinsically valuable to the output it receives. Giving it 1,000 ads is going to make you potentially a better salesperson, but a salesperson isn't a business owner. If you want to grow your business, you can't rely on hand-to-hand combat every single day. You have to think bigger than just the battlefield, or you'll never win the war. And lastly, invest in diversity. And I saw this question pop up like multiple times here. And I'll bring this one up. Define the balance between creative diversity and not having 1,000 ads. You don't need to have 1,000 ads that have great creative diversity. Creative diversity isn't in the volume of ads. It's simply, if you already have a couple really great flex ad combinations set up to do like the static bottom of funnel, overcome objections, features and benefits, offer construction, all of that stuff, great. You can get away with like 2 or 3 of those. And then maybe you have some creator content that's attracting a bunch of different types of customers, but you don't need a lot of them. You can have a couple that you can have a flex ad that focuses on women that look like this and something else that looks at parents who look like that or college student, whatever it is. But like, you don't want to attract 1,000 different types of customers. You want like 3 of them and get 1,000 of those. Because if you have 1,000 different customers come into your store for 1,000 different reasons and you want to get all of them to buy a second time, that is functionally impossible. But if you get a couple hundred of 3 or 4 different types of people, the ability for you to get the vast majority of them to buy a second time is absolutely something you can do. Your business is not built on the ability to make a sale. A business is about cash flow acquisition. You have to stop thinking about being a performance marketer trying to not get fired and start thinking about yourself as a business owner, an investment banker trying to make more money. That's what actually matters. And I will give you a little bit of an insight on some value optimization because I know these questions will be coming. First off, purchase objectives, focus on profit. You're going to have upper funnel and custom metrics, do all of that stuff. We got videos coming on soon. But the value optimization, in the data that we have, it's best fit for lower in the funnel. It's an always-on tactic that has higher CPMs. But remember, it's a tool for the job. It's not everything. And the reason that is really, really important is because you have to use the right tool for the job. And ultimately, highest volume of profit is not the best way to talk to absolute strangers. It's a great way to get people who are interested in buying or they're already aware to buy more. And one other question from Marcia, but rebuilding it will lose all engagement. And going back to the ASC campaign, yes, we're building new ads. We're leveraging what the machine likes to show content that people enjoy to get a business objective accomplished in a way where we can burn through creatives and blow up the bank account. Anyway, stay tuned, everybody. I really hope you enjoy this stuff. Hold on a second. I want to show you guys one more thing here. Because this is the cheat code. It's coming tomorrow. Okay. This is tomorrow. And I legitimately could not be more thrilled with this thing. Okay. So just here we go. Boom. Share screen. Window. There we go. This video. I made $100,000 in 100 days with AI. I made this video so that you can copy me. It goes live in 22 hours. Join us. I cannot wait to see you here at the party. All right. This is on the Disruptor Academy YouTube channel. Brand new. Check it out. And with that being said, everyone, take care. I love you. Stay safe out there. And yeah, good luck, everyone. You deserve success. I'll see you soon.